Okay, everybody. So I'm gonna hop on real quick, do my discussion board before it's time to put my daughter to bed. So, this week, it asked us to kind of dive into the thoughts about Christian worldview and how that affects historians, and how do we apply Christian worldview to the study of history other than what's specifically contained into the Bible. So to start off, I think it's really important to kind of just differentiate what is the relationship to God and what is Christian worldview. So, what is in the Bible is what we consider to be like our relationship between God and human beings. On the other hand, there is like Christian worldview, which is where we kind of lay out our beliefs and what we consider as Christians to be true. So kind of leading into that, Christian worldview may have one belief, such as a good example is the creation of man. God created man in his likeness, gave him life, and Christians believe that is where human existence came from. We come from God, and that's it. And we intertwine that into history. So when growing up as a Catholic, I was learning about the creation of man and the creation of this world. I never looked at what you would see in a textbook, which is like a standard historian view that there's no mention of God. It's humans came from an evolution from fish and animals and millions of years ago, and they evolved into the stage of human life that we have today. So there is kind of that like cut and dry, what is Christian worldview and what is not. I think that it's really important to remember that history is always up to interpretation, no matter if it's Christian worldview or not. So we can kind of interpret things one way or another. So many historians regard the adoption and spreading of Christianity, but they don't really intertwine it into their studies. I think it's really important to notice that there is an impeccable need for both, for the Christian historians and the normal historians. I think that it's so incredibly important to have both views. I am a Catholic and I am a history major, and I believe that we need both, because that's where we develop good thoughts and good studies, is to have those kind of like healthy debates, kind of like healthy balance of it. I think that we need historians that will have that kind of counterpart that, I don't want to say ignore God, but kind of put them on the back burner to what they believe needs to be told in history. I think that as a Christian, you should believe and trust in what's in your heart when you're learning history, but also keeping in mind, what is my views, but what do I need to learn? So I think that, especially in the video that we watched with Sam Smith, with Christian Worldview and History, the lecture video, I think it's really important to like kind of confirm your beliefs, especially as if you are a history major or as a history or as a person who's taking history class. It's really important to like have your solid ground views walking into a class. I know after watching that first video, it kind of helped me open my mind to what I have my solid views of what I believe as a Christian and what I believe as a history major, but I'm going to open my mind up to what I'm going to learn in this class or in my other history classes. So that's kind of where I stood on this discussion board. And I hope that you guys have a great day, and see you in the next discussion board.